Ladies and gentlemen, let me warmly welcome Chef de la Délégation, Madame, and honored delegation members. I express my condolences on the victims of the conflict situation and injured persons especially. Your Excellencies, Democratic Republic of Congo adopted 2005-2006, ratified especially all the conventions against transnational crime and its protocols. At the same time, government in 2022 law adopted and passed the law on combating human trafficking and criminalized sex trafficking and labor trafficking. Law amended the penal code to criminalize all forms of labor trafficking and some forms of the sex trafficking. At the same time, so during the 5 years of the reporting period, there was organized special trainings and seminars on the prevention of trafficking for the civil servants. However, despite these efforts, the state party has investigated fewer cases. The problem of identification on the face. Shelters and victim-centered comprehensive services are inadequate, especially in rural and conflict areas. Complicity in trafficking crimes are inefficient, terribly contributing to impunity for traffickers. Conflict-affected mining areas are also susceptible to persistent dynamics where women are girls and victims of human trafficking as sexual slavery by armed groups fueled by revenue from trade in minerals. After the observation of the resources, institutionalization of the Congolese National Police and the Directorate General of Immigration, which use girls and women from Rwanda and Burundi without legal documents to enter the country. This has led to an increase in the number of maisons de tolérance partout in the towers of Uvira, Bukavu, Goma, Kalemie, Kamanyola, Sange Kiliba, and Goma. Prostitution, forced prostitution on bars, hotel services where internally displaced girls and women's IDPs are persecuted near the border of the Democratic Republic. Sources have at the same time including that the involvement of Burundian girls in the mining areas of Uvira and Misisi in the prostitution, forced prostitution networks of I will give not the names, especially persons, known as the entrepreneurs of the Bukavu. At the same time, we see this different problems in this situation. Persistent conflict has enabled armed groups to continue kidnapping and forcibly recruitment men, women, and children, particularly in mining areas where coercion and prostitution are still commonplace. Human trafficking remains a worrying reality in several of the country's provinces. Kasai region and the east, where it exists the persistence of conflict, where we have the increasing development of such kind of trafficking cases. And I'm going to the questions especially. How does the state party ensure that the potential cases of trafficking, including complaints brought by migrants and other vulnerable population, are proactively screened for trafficking indicators, and that potential trafficking victims are not themselves penalized for unlawful acts committed as a direct result of the being trafficked? The second question, how does the state party prevent or plan to prevent trafficking cases in the conflict-affected mining areas, human trafficking and sexual slavery by the armed groups? What about the penalization of the potential trafficking victims? How its process is going in your country? Does it still continues? The problem of the statistic information, especially on human trafficking and legal expertising especially. Does the state party have any future plans to increase the number of shelters for victims of human trafficking, especially support creation of NGO shelters? I will go to the last question where I want to invite the government for the ratification of Convention on protection of the children and cooperation in respect of inter-country adoption, which is mainly the main problems at this moment in this country as a kidnapping, including especially for the trafficking. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.